The end of the blizzard is coming. Temperatures have dropped to -60 degrees, yet I'm playing games and eating hot pot. My neighbor from my past life who robbed my supplies is shivering, without food or drink, frantically asking me in the group if the supermarket is open. I filmed a video and posted it in the owner group. Eating hot pot in the snow is so enjoyable. I reincarnated just in time to run into my neighbor Wang Dezhuang buying cola.
Boss, a bottle of cola.
I suppress my hatred and hand him a bottle of cola, not wanting to say a word more.
Thanks, boss. It's getting colder lately. Take care.
I watch his departing figure and can't help but smirk. It's this Wang Dazhuang who, under the guise of mutual assistance, was the first to pry open my supermarket door and loot all my supplies. I glanced at the time. February 28th. 4 days until the end of the world. The weather forecast is particularly alarming, with continuous rain and snow, indicating something unusual. In my last life, everyone thought it was just a normal drop in temperature, but it led to sustained low temperatures and an unprecedented blizzard, with temperatures dropping to -80 degrees. This time I must act quickly. When I got home at night, I heard Mabufon's voice drifting over.
Darling, try the dishes I made myself. They're all your favorites.
I glanced at the trash can, filled with luxurious takeout boxes still steaming. He hasn't even known where the kitchen is for the past 7 years, if he can still cook. At the dining table, Mabufon eagerly serves me food, and suddenly says,
Xiaobai, let's get married.
The proposal had no flowers, no rings, not even a sweet word. In my last life, my supermarket was robbed, and I crawled home covered in injuries, but he complained that I didn't bring back supplies, and threw me out while hugging my cousin Liu Yuyan. This time he's actually proposing to me on the eve of the apocalypse. My heart raced, but I smiled brightly. Alright, I want to see what he's up to. I feigned a coy tone and asked, for marriage, I'll give you a car, but I'm still a bit short on money. Mao Bufon's eyes lit up. How much are you short? 500,000. His face instantly darkened. I continued to act. My mother passed away early and left me a large sum of money that I had never touched. But for our wedding, I must buy a Maserati to make our marriage grand. After a while, he finally managed to say a good word. Soon my phone dinged with a bank notification. 50,000 received. Now, with my previous savings, I have over 1 million. The apocalypse is coming, and this money is enough for me to stockpile a room full of supplies and comfortably survive the winter. The countdown to the blizzard apocalypse is 3 days. Early in the morning, I arrived at the supermarket. Behind the sign was a door leading to the basement. When I was young, my mom told me that before refrigerators existed, this place was a natural ice cellar, perfect for stockpiling goods. I opened the wooden door, and a rush of cool air hit me. I swept the flashlight around. It was a full 240 square meters. In the past few days, I had paused the supermarket's operations under the pretext of renovations, and contacted a renovation company to have the best soundproofing and insulation installed throughout the supermarket and basement. I also specifically instructed that the basement must have a ventilation duct to keep it well ventilated when the cold apocalypse arrives. With the heavy snow blocking the doors, we rely on the air here and the windows. I requested all to be reinforced with the glass replaced with bulletproof level. In my last life, I could never forget the scenes of those who broke in through the doors. The supermarket door must be the highest level of anti-theft door, equipped with black technology, 360-degree solar-powered surveillance cameras. I want to see who dares to target my supermarket this time. Superpowers are useful. 5 top-notch renovation workers managed to compress the original 3-day construction period into 1 day. The speed was simply amazing. At night, I didn't want to kebab. When I saw Malbu Fan again, I decided to make do on the foldable bed at the electric store. I took stock of the supplies currently in the supermarket. Instant noodles, snacks, daily necessities, oil, salt, soy sauce, vinegar, toilet paper, and other essentials were basically all there. If it weren't for the last life where those neighbors looted everything, I wouldn't have ended up so miserable. In previous years, February had already warmed up, but this year's bizarre weather has seen temperatures drop to -5 degrees, freezing people to shivers. However, my supermarket and basement have been completely renewed, just waiting for supplies to arrive. Before bed, Lao Bufon's WeChat was bombarding me with messages, repeatedly asking why I wasn't going home. He also mentioned that my cousin Liu Ruyan was coming to Yangcheng for a trip, and wanted to stay at my place. I have no mood to deal with her. The countdown to the blizzard apocalypse is 2 days. As soon as I got up, I drove the usual supply truck straight to the largest wholesale market. I first ordered 10 beds of the last down comforters, a 2-meter wide bed, and 2 large double-door refrigerators, all placed in the underground safe house. Next, I bought 200 jin of diesel and 10 diesel generators. These are hard currency. Only with electricity can we ensure basic living standards. 500 solid alcohol, 500 lighters, 50 boxes of lazy babies. These are all heating essentials, the more the better. Oh, and cat litter, which isn't just for cats. In extreme cold weather, even going to the bathroom becomes a problem. 600 jin of cat litter should last me a while. For food, I purchased 100 jin of potatoes, 50 jin of cabbage, and various storable vegetables, each 100 jin. Additionally, I bought 50 jin of sausages and cured meat, all of which can be stored. At the vegetable market, I also ordered 300 dumplings with pork and corn filling, and 300 with 3 delicacies, ensuring I can have a hot dumpling to eat in the bedroom. It was simply a heavenly enjoyment. To avoid drawing attention, I deliberately took several routes to disperse my purchases. However, every day while I was selecting the last few items, a familiar figure appeared. My good cousin Liu Ruyan. Her shopping cart was stuffed with rice, noodles, instant noodles, mineral water, and she was holding a large pile of toilet paper. My heart sank. Why is she also stockpiling? Could it be that she is also reincarnated? Ruyan, how come you're in the supermarket? Her eyes flickered, a bit flustered. I came to Yangcheng to play, and I didn't want to bother your family, so I wanted to buy some things. This was too unusual. In the past, Liu Ruyan would only eat and take, never coming to buy things. I didn't ask further, just silently quickened my shopping speed. Back at the supermarket, after organizing the supplies, I was exhausted. However, when I lay on the 2-meter bed in the basement, looking at the piles of supplies around me, I felt everything had come to a halt. Just as I was about to rest, my phone buzzed with several messages.
Baby, didn't we agree to go get our marriage certificate today? Baby, hurry and reply to my message. Where are you? Not even going home? Oh, is there someone else outside?
I casually replied, I'm out buying you a Maserati. March 3rd, the countdown to the snow apocalypse is 11 days. Just after waking up, I suddenly realized I had left my clothes at home and had to go back to pack. So, I opened the surveillance of the smart door lock to see when they would leave. The results showed Mao Bufang and Liu Ruoyang hugging each other. Darling, hurry up and get the marriage certificate with me. Once the apocalypse hits, the insurance payout will all be yours. Liu Ruoyang's voice came through.
All right, I'll hurry. Didn't you say tomorrow there's going to be a severe cold and snow disaster? The supplies are ready.
Everything is going well. I turned off the surveillance, my heart clenched. I didn't expect they had colluded before the apocalypse and wanted to harm me. I immediately sent a message to Mao Bufan. The Civil Affairs Bureau is waiting for you. After we get the certificate, I'll act all lovey-dovey with you at the Civil Affairs Bureau. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Liu Ruyan's face turn green with anger. Soon they made an excuse to leave. I guess they went to the insurance company. I quickly returned home, packed my clothes and essentials, but I didn't leave immediately. Instead, I installed several pinhole cameras in a hidden spot before leaving. I want to see what they can pull off in the extreme cold. On the first day of the cold snap, temperatures plummeted to -10 degrees, and outside was a white expanse. I quickly checked the doors, windows, and ventilation openings. Everything was normal. The basement temperature was stable at around 18 degrees. I then blocked Mao Bufang. To my surprise, not long after, my phone received dozens of missed calls from unfamiliar numbers. So soon, someone couldn't sit still. I casually opened the pinhole camera hidden in my house, and the footage showed Liu Ruyan and Mao Bufan shivering together, hugging for warmth. Liu Ruyan's voice came through. As long as we can freeze Xiaobai out like last time, she'll die. If we survive 3 months, the house, the supermarket, and the money left by his mother will all be ours. Mao Bufan agreed. You're really smart. We must hold on. So disgusting. I turned off the surveillance, calculating in my heart that if Liu Ruyan was right, and the severe cold apocalypse only lasted 3 months, then the supplies I had stockpiled would be enough for me to comfortably get through those 3 months, or even longer. I turned around and made a sausage rice dish, just about to eat when my phone started ringing, incessantly. I opened it to find messages from the supermarket's delivery group, filled with purchase requests from residents in the community.
Boss, hurry and send 5 boxes of instant noodles and 10 boxes of mineral water to Building 9, Apartment 901. It's urgent. Boss, it's been an hour already. Why haven't the 5 boxes of instant noodles been delivered yet? If they don't arrive soon, I'm going to file a...
I recalled that in my last life, it was also today when I noticed something was off about the snow, and started warning everyone. Thank you all. As soon as I entered, I started reminding everyone to stock up on supplies. I braved the biting cold wind, running up and down the entire community, delivering goods to every household just to give everyone a bit more hope for survival. But what was the result? One by one, they became greedy. That big guy even brought a neighbor to loot my supermarket clean, calling it something noble.
They ignored mutual help among neighbors. So what's there to talk about money?
From Fire Satellite TV, I understood that in extreme environments, human nature is the most terrifying. I directly replied, it's too cold, and the supermarket is temporarily closed. Everyone figure it out on your own. At that moment, the big guy jumped out again, shouting,
What are you afraid of? When the apocalypse really comes, just do a zero...
Although he quickly retracted, I still saw it. $0 purchase. I looked at the reinforced supermarket door and thought, let's see how you do a $0 purchase. It was the 7th day of the apocalypse, and the temperature dropped to minus 30 degrees. I was basking in the small sun, feeling great. After eating and drinking enough, I sat on the sofa and watched the apocalypse mini-drama. The surveillance at home showed Liu Ruyan and Mao Bufan anxiously searching for something. However, they rummaged through the entire coffee table and couldn't find anything. Mao Bufan was getting more and more impatient and made a phone call. At the same time, my phone rang, and his voice was trembling on the other end.
Where are you? Hurry back. The remote control is missing at home. Come back and buy one.
The doors and windows on the 18th floor had long been tampered with by me. The gaps couldn't keep out the cold at all, while I leisurely played with the air conditioner remote control in my hand. When I was tidying up the sound equipment, I casually took it with me. I took a photo and sent it over with a message. Are you talking about this remote control? 100,000 each. No money, no deal. Mao Bufan immediately exploded.
What do you mean? 100,000?
You and Ruyan are so close you wouldn't want him to move, right? If you don't give me 100,000, I'll hang up. It felt so good in my heart. Mao Bufan, this stingy guy, definitely wouldn't want to spend money to buy it. However, when he couldn't stand it anymore, he would naturally kneel down and beg me. Sure enough, he asked for help in the owner group to borrow the remote control, but no one paid any attention. A few days later, the temperature dropped even lower, reaching minus 40 degrees. Desperate, Mao Bufan took the initiative to lower his head and begged me to sell him the remote control. I opened a small window through the door and asked him to transfer the money first. He was trembling all over and obediently transferred 100,000. I kindly sold him the remote control for 100,000, but he angrily cursed at me.
Why is there no battery in the remote control?
You didn't ask either. The battery is 11,000. Great, I easily made 120,000 from that scumbag. I went back to the basement to have a good meal, potatoes, enoki mushrooms, fatty beef, and some sausages. I lit the portable stove, and the spicy hot pot base bubbled up. The aroma was so enticing. Good things shouldn't be enjoyed alone. I called Mao Bufan on video. That scumbag smiled, thinking I was going to soften my heart and let them into the supermarket. I smirked and opened the rear camera, showing the steaming hot pot in front of me, sharing it with him from every angle. In the video, Mao Bufan and Liu Ruyan were drooling, looking pitifully at me.
Little Bai, I beg you, let us go to the supermarket. We are cold and hungry. For the sake of our past feelings, forgive me. Little Bai, you can't just watch me freeze.
Liu Ruyan nodded beside him, pretending to be pitiful. I said one word, no way. After saying that, I hung up. The world became quiet. I picked up a piece of beef tripe, dipped it in sesame oil and garlic paste, and took a bite. The hot and spicy flavor exploded in my mouth, and I closed my eyes in comfort. I didn't expect that scumbag Mao Bufan was so sneaky that he actually took a photo of me eating hot pot and sent it to the community group. The group instantly exploded with complaints, calling me selfish, heartless, and indifferent to other suffering, with all sorts of unpleasant words. I directly sent the hot pot video to the group with a caption, "I heard hot pot is great in the snow." Now the group was even livelier. Let them scold me. I couldn't hear it anyway since I was wearing headphones. I comfortably lay down on the bed to sleep. Suddenly, there was a loud banging sound at the supermarket door above. Outside, there was a crowd of people pressing against the door, banging on it like crazy. I didn't approach. I just opened the outdoor camera and microphone. What a mess! I called the police again. The big guy was trying to force the door open.
Boss lady, open the door. We need to buy some food, or we'll starve to death.
The neighbors around were also crying out. I coldly said there's nothing to buy at my house. Get lost. Sure enough, they started cursing with all sorts of unpleasant words. However, after cursing, they still left. I thought that was the end of it, but not long after, they came back. And this time, it was even scarier. Each one was holding weapons, knives, baseball bats, shovels, shiny and glinting, like madmen, smashing and chopping at my door. The noise was deafening, and after smashing for a long time, they were exhausted like dogs, their faces red. But the door didn't even have a dent, it just lost a bit of paint. The big guy was panting heavily. He sat down on the ground.
You won't hag if you have the guts. Don't come out for a lifetime. Brothers, don't give up. There must be food in the supermarket. We'll fight for our lives.
Some were still pretending to be pitiful.
Us lady, it's already dark. Everyone is starving. Have some compassion and open the door. One shouldn't be too selfish. Otherwise, they'll face retribution.
Retribution? In my last life, I suffered enough. In this life, don't even think about it. I leaned back in my chair, put on my noise-cancelling headphones, and the noise outside instantly disappeared. I continued watching my show. After a while, those neighbors who were robbing things at the door all left. It seems they only had this little ability. Back in the basement, I habitually opened the surveillance to see the miserable state of that couple upstairs. Hey, it didn't disappoint me. In the surveillance, they were wrapped in several layers of tattered blankets, shivering in the corner, with empty snack wrappers all over the floor. They had been looted. They deserved it for showing off in the group. Now they were completely cleaned out. How stupid is Liu Ruyan? She only knows to stock up on food, but doesn't realize that the higher the floor, the colder it gets. Doesn't she know that while neighbors stock up on food, I stock up on air? Not reinforcing the house and waiting to be robbed? However, this was just an appetizer. I saw Liu Ruyan stretch out a hand from the tattered blanket, trembling as she picked up a moldy bun, just about to put it in her mouth when Mao Bufan was quicker and snatched it away. That bun is mine. Give it back.
This is my house.
Mao Bufan also went crazy. Untouchable. The two of them completely tore their faces apart over a moldy bun. Liu Ruyan took advantage of his distraction and kicked him in the groin. Mao Bufan bent down in pain, covering himself and falling to the ground. Liu Ruyan snatched the bun and ran into the room, locking the door.
You wait for me, you bitch.
Mao Bufan was howling outside, his voice full of despair and hatred. I didn't know if he was cursing Liu Ruyan or me, or regretting provoking me. The blizzard had been going on for a month. The whole city was dark. My home generator could only start occasionally. The surveillance was intermittent, and I didn't know how that couple upstairs was doing. The news said there were still many volunteers in flood disaster rescue support teams running everywhere, power workers repairing power lines in -60 degrees, and doctors saving people in shelters. I was scrolling through my phone, but I always felt something was off about the basement. It felt stuffy, and there was a smell of decay. It felt really uncomfortable. If the ventilation in this basement broke down, it wouldn't be good after a long time. I frowned, always feeling that the earthy smell was wrong. Could it be that the neighbors were up to something again? They couldn't get into the supermarket before, so maybe they were eyeing my ventilation now. I quickly tightened my down jacket and opened the supermarket surveillance again, looking closely, especially zooming in on the ventilation area to confirm that there was no movement outside. Only then did I cautiously push open the thick security door. A gust of icy air rushed in, mixing with the snowflakes that poured in, making me shiver. I lowered my body and quickly scanned the area. Outside it was a vast expanse of white, as if the world was covered with a layer of snow. Just as I was nervously entangled in the snow, I suddenly heard a faint meow. Meow, meow, meow. Where did a cat come from in this weather? I held my breath. Meow, it's a cat's meow. In this ghostly place, there's still a cat alive. In the corner of the wall, there was a broken nest made of a few pieces of old cloth and dry grass, barely blocking some wind. Inside the nest, the small furry thing was curled up. My heart softened as I cleared away the snow. A frozen little cat revealed its head, with messy brown-yellow fur, about the size of a palm, and so thin it was just skin and bones. It looked like it was about to die. I hurriedly took it. Little guy, what are you doing here? Let's go back to the warm basement. The little cat gradually regained its strength, slightly opened its wet amber eyes, then weakly closed them again. I wiped off the blood on its body with a towel and poured some warm milk, bringing it to its mouth. The little cat's nose twitched and it started to lick it slowly. Looking at its starving appearance, my nose turned sour. In this apocalypse, it's hard for people to survive, let alone a cat. From now on, follow me. I'll give you a name. Little Tiger, okay? The little cat gently meowed in response. A few days later, the store actually came. I quickly turned on the air conditioner and the small sun, and my frozen body gradually warmed up. I cooked a bowl of steaming spring noodles. While eating, I opened the surveillance. The 18th floor had turned into an ice cellar. There was no one in the surveillance. Liu Ruyan and Mao Bufang must have frozen into popsicles. I curled my lips and opened the Nightmaster group. They were chatting about them in the group. Someone said they saw a couple going out to look for food, and had bad intentions to rob, but were thrown out by a strong man and froze to death outside. Retribution. Such people deserve to die.
I heard that before they died, they even bit each other. The man pushed the woman towards the stairs for the last piece of moldy bread in her hand, and ended up breaking his leg and couldn't get up.
I felt so relieved. In my last life, they conspired to make me freeze to death. In this life, they turned on each other. This is divine retribution. Just as I was about to leave the group, a new message popped up. Have you heard? Our previous group of people all died.
What happened?
They formed a group to rob things in the neighboring community and ended up encountering an even fiercer group, which wiped them out.
What a joke. Back then, they robbed everywhere, and my things were also taken.
Looking at the messages in the group, my lips almost cracked to my ears. This group of people, in their last life, led the charge to rob all my things. In this life, they died even earlier than me. Truly, evil begets evil. In the 3rd month, the blizzard stopped. In the 4th month, the temperature began to rise. The world frozen into an ice Buddha started to thaw. In the 5th month, the harsh cold apocalypse ended, and my supermarket could open again. However, when I looked down, I saw a little follower beside me. Little tiger. My little follower.
No matter what you do.